Go.
Hello, my name is Sheida K. I'm a doctoral student at the University of Kansas, and this is my research presentation that I presented at the AAIDD 2017 poster session, and I'm part of the Student and Early Career Professional group. So my area of interest is self-determination, and this specific study addressed the relationship between different theories of self-determination, specifically self-determination theory and causal agency theory. So causal agency theory is one theory of human agentic theory, which is the theories of why do humans act? What are the reasons, what are the methods that individuals take to act? So it really kind of talks about how does a person act as a causal agent in their lives? Are they causing the things to happen that they want to happen? One of the other theories that's a component of causal agency theory is self-determination theory. Self-determination theory really relates to why do people act? What are the reasons why people act in their lives? This framework right here really discusses those different ideas. So this section right here is self-determination theory. So really the why do people act? So people act because of three psychological needs. They act because they want to feel autonomous, they want to feel competent, and they want to be able to relate to their environments. Because of these needs that they feel like they need to fill, they act. By acting in those needs, then they're motivated. So they're motivated to act by these needs, and then that's kind of the reason why we act. Now, causal agency theory really gets at this idea of how do people act. So people act because they believe that they have the ability to make change happen in their life. They believe they have opportunities to make that change become a reality. And then they believe that they can take actions. They can take the steps necessary to improve their life or make things happen in their life. And that develops causal agency theory. So this idea of believing, having opportunities, and doing things to make things happen. So self-determination theory looks at the why. Causal agency theory looks at the how do people act, and the constant reiteration of these two processes lead a person to develop what we know of as self-determination, which is being the cause of change in your life. So this study is part of a line of research to really look at what is the relationship between all of these constructs, between the why do people act and the how do people act, all related to self-determination. So the participants were 55 adolescents in a private school for individuals with ADHD, autism, and then both ADHD and autism. It was predominantly male and Caucasian, and so what it was a battery of assessments they were given. The first assessment really got at these different psychological needs, so really the needs that people want to fill. The next measure really got about at this autonomous motivation part. How are they motivated, specifically in the school context, because it was a school. This next part measure got at agentic engagement, that is this agent part. Do they feel like they're able to act on their environment? And the last measure is actually a new measure of self-determination that researchers at the University of Kansas have developed and recently validated, called the self-determination inventory. And that really gets at this entire part of causal agency theory. So these three areas of causal agency. So the individuals took this battery of assessments at once, and we kind of looked at the correlations and the reliability amongst them, and then also to see if any one of them predicted overall self-determination. So what were the highest predictions of overall self-determination as measured by the self-determination inventory? So what we found was that there were clear relationships and expected directions between all of them. So really that meant that if a person was high in basic psychological needs, any of the basic psychological needs, then they are going to be high in self-determination. If they were high in autonomous motivation, then they were high in self-determination. Same thing, if they were higher in any of these causal agency domains, then they were high in self-determination. So all of that really bodes well for this new measure and really just our conceptualization of self-determination, because it means that they're all measuring constructs that we theorize are related to one another. So that's great news. And then we looked at the prediction value. So trying to see within these constructs, which one of them really led to a higher prediction. So what was identified using a forward stepwise regression model was that there was a higher satisfaction with relatedness with others and feeling supported to initiate in one's environment. So that really gets at the higher satisfaction with related satisfaction, so being high in feeling like you're competent in relating to your environment and being able to relate in your environment, and also to this agentic engagement part, being able to act on your environment the way that you want to. So these two constructs here related to self-determination the most, which really means implication-wise that as practitioners, as policymakers, one of the researchers, what we really want to focus on is enabling students to be able to relate to their environment, to relate to others, and communicate their wants and needs, to be able to act on their environment in such a way that enables them to create the change that they want to happen in order to increase overall self-determination. And the reason why we want to do this is really because self-determination has been proven to lead to positive post-school outcomes, positive school and post-school outcomes. So access to general education, transition outcomes, employment outcomes, post-secondary outcomes. So this line of research has a lot of implications for increased improvements in the lives, overall lives, academic and after-school lives of individuals with disabilities, and exploring different ways that we can increase these different areas is critical to the field as a whole. So, thank you.